Angel Reese boarded a private jet. My goodness. For a postseason trip hours after missing Chicago's 91-86 season finale loss to the Liberty on Thursday night, as seen in a video on her TikTok page.
Angel Reese boarded a private jet, a triumphant smile on her face, as she prepared for a lavish postseason trip. This would be a normal sight for a superstar, except for one glaring detail. Just hours earlier, her team, the Chicago Sky, had their season ended in a devastating 91-86 loss to the Liberty, a loss she was absent for, a loss she was supposedly too injured to even watch from the sidelines. The official report cited a debilitating back injury, painting a picture of a warrior forced to sit out against her will. But the video that surfaced on her own TikTok account told a story of pure deception. There was no sign of pain, no hint of a lingering injury. Instead, there was only celebration and dancing, a shocking display of disregard for the team she had just abandoned. The footage went viral, and the WNBA world was left reeling from the sheer audacity of it all. This wasn't just a player enjoying her offseason, this was a player gloating while her team's season was still warm in its grave.
Oh no, she wants the hell out of Chicago, I guess, after drowning her teammates publicly. It's weird. You want out, but you're the one that actually did it. Maybe she did it to find her way out of town. Maybe that was the master plan. But this hurt back is been, of course, under some scrutiny. Some people have questioned the hurt back. As to maybe the back's just not that hurt at all. She just didn't want to play. She tapped out. She quit. However you want to word it.
The official team report was vague but clinical. Angel Reese was out with a D&D injury, SL illness. For weeks, the narrative had been that she was battling a persistent, nagging back injury that limited her ability to play. But as the TikTok video played on a loop for millions to see, the excuse crumbled into dust. You could see her hunching over, twisting her body, and throwing her back into the air with a fluidity that no one with a legitimate back issue could possibly manage. The scrutiny became immense. Fans and analysts alike started questioning everything. Was the back ever really hurt, or was it just a convenient excuse to tap out when she no longer felt like playing? This wasn't just about missing a game, it was about the potential of a calculated lie. The phrase lingering back injury was suddenly being repeated with air quotes, a mocking symbol of a story that no one believed anymore. She had quit on her team, and this video felt like the irrefutable evidence.
Let's check in on Angel Reese. As we know, she missed the last game of the year. Let's check just to be sure that we've got all of our ducks in a row here. Let's just take a look. She missed the last game. It was Thursday against the New York Liberty. Yep, okay, right there. Let me scroll down. She missed with a D&D injury/illness. Now, it's our understanding that, of course, she's got some kind of a back injury, correct?
As the shock began to subside, a darker, more unsettling theory began to take shape. This wasn't an impulsive decision, but a calculated power play. Whispers from inside the league suggested that Angel Reese wants the hell out of Chicago. Her rookie season had been a roller coaster of drama, and the relationship with the franchise was reportedly strained to a breaking point. Suddenly, the injury and the video didn't look like a mistake, they looked like a master plan. By feigning an injury to miss the final games and then broadcasting her carefree vacation, was she intentionally burning the bridge with the Sky? Was this her way of forcing a trade, of making her position in Chicago so untenable that the front office would have no choice but to send her packing? It was a Machiavellian theory, but it fit the narrative of a player who seemed to value her own agenda above all else. She may have wanted out, but the evidence suggested she was the one who had poisoned the well in the first place.
Reese, who missed the Sky's final 3 games of the season due to a lingering back injury, in quotes, posted a TikTok video of her and her friend embarking on a getaway amid the star forward's strained relationship with the team. So, let's go over here. This is... Whoa, what happened? No. Let's go back. There we go. Okay. So let me stop this. This is Angel right there. This is the friend in the back. And Angel's doing all kinds of hunching and whatever got her back in the air.
The roots of this alleged discontent run deep, and many point to her habit of publicly undermining her own teammates. Throughout the season, Reese had developed a reputation for her post-game press conferences, where she would often make comments that seemed to deflect blame and place it squarely on the shoulders of her teammates. Instead of fostering unity, she was seen as drowning her teammates publicly, creating a toxic locker room environment where no one felt safe. This behavior created a bizarre paradox. She was reportedly unhappy with the team dynamic, yet she was the primary architect of the division. It's a classic case of starting a fire and then complaining about the smoke. Her actions painted the picture of a young star who lacked the maturity and leadership to unite a team, instead choosing to isolate herself through public criticism and passive-aggressive behavior. Her desire to escape Chicago, then, wasn't the plea of a victim, but the move of a saboteur trying to flee the scene of the crime. While Angel Reese's season ended in a cloud of self-inflicted drama, the player she is endlessly compared to was navigating a firestorm of her own with quiet dignity. Caitlin Clark has become the league's biggest target, facing a level of physical aggression that is almost unprecedented for a rookie. Night after night, she is hounded, pushed, and cheap-shotted, yet she never complains. She simply gets back up, dusts herself off, and sinks another three-pointer. She carries the weight of the league's expectations on her shoulders, all while maintaining a level of professionalism that stands in stark contrast to Reese's antics. Clark shows up even when she's bruised and battered because her commitment is to her team and to the sport itself. The difference in their character could not be more obvious. One player is defined by her resilience in the face of adversity, while the other appears to manufacture her own adversity and then run from it. The aggression Caitlin Clark faces isn't random, it's a league-wide phenomenon, but no team seems to have embraced it with more enthusiasm than Angel Reese's Chicago Sky. The tone was set when Chennedy Carter, from the bench, delivered a blindsided hip check to Clark that was so egregious it became a national news story. But the most telling moment came from Reese herself. In a highly anticipated matchup, Reese was seen winding up and intentionally striking Clark in the head on a block attempt, a move that was immediately upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. These incidents are not just hard-nosed basketball, they paint a picture of a team culture that seems obsessed with intimidating and physically dominating one specific player. It suggests a deep-seated jealousy, and with Reese as one of the team's leaders, her actions set a dangerous precedent. The Sky's war on Clark has become a symbol of the league's struggle to embrace its new superstar, with Reese seemingly leading the charge. Ultimately, the saga of these two rookies has become a story of two fundamentally different paths. On one hand, you have Caitlin Clark, a player who is actively building the WNBA. Her presence sells out arenas, shatters viewership records, and inspires a new generation of fans. She understands that her success is intertwined with the league's success, and she acts accordingly. On the other hand, you have Angel Reese, who appears to be singularly focused on building the Bayou Barbie brand. Her actions suggest that the team, the league, and even the integrity of the game are all secondary to her personal fame and social media presence. While Clark is making headlines for her performance on the court, Reese is making them for her controversies off of it. One is building a legacy, the other is building a following, and the private jet incident was the clearest indication yet of where her true priorities lie. That TikTok video wasn't just a lapse in judgment, it was the moment the mask finally and irrevocably slipped. For months, Reese has cultivated a public persona of a fierce competitor, a passionate leader who would do anything for her team. But the image of her dancing on a private jet while her teammates processed a season-ending loss shattered that illusion completely. It was a raw, unfiltered look at what truly matters to her. Not the grind of the season, not the camaraderie of the locker room, but the glamorous influencer lifestyle. The video screamed that basketball is not the passion, it's the platform. It's the vehicle that gets her to the private jets, the endorsement deals, and the TikTok fame. In that single unguarded moment, she exposed herself not as a dedicated athlete, but as a celebrity who happens to play basketball. This single act of defiance has now cast a long, dark shadow over Angel Reese's entire future. Her immense talent is not in question, but talent alone does not make a franchise player. Trust, character, and loyalty are the currencies of a professional locker room, and she has just declared bankruptcy in all three. Will a coach ever be able to rely on her in a crucial moment, knowing she might just tap out if she's not happy? Can her teammates ever fully embrace her as a leader, knowing she is willing to abandon them and publicly celebrate while they grieve a loss? She has sabotaged her reputation before her rookie season was even officially over. The question that now looms over her is a terrifying one for any young athlete. Has she caused irreparable damage to her own legacy? Is this the beginning of the end for a star whose ego is simply too big for the game she claims to love?